Have you ever opened the fridge, grabbed a box of leftovers, and thought, this is quick, easy, and even healthy? But what most of us don't realize is this. Some familiar foods, once reheated, can quietly work against our health. They may not look different. They may not smell any worse. But they can slowly affect your brain, your digestion, and even increase your risk of cancer. In today's video, we'll talk about 5 everyday foods. You probably eat them every week. But if you reheat them the wrong way, they may become harmful without you even knowing. This is not a rumor. These are real health warnings backed by doctors and supported by medical research. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or older, your body is more sensitive to small changes in food preparation. Something as simple as reheating could slowly wear down your memory, your energy, or your gut. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from? Please leave your city or country in the comments. We read every single one, and it means a lot to us. And if you find this topic helpful, feel free to subscribe to our channel. That way, we can keep walking with you on this journey towards safe, healthy aging, one habit at a time. Let's begin with the first food. Spinach is known as a superfood. It's packed with vitamins, iron, antioxidants, and fiber. People add it to smoothies, stir-fries, salads, and soups. But if you've ever stored a spinach dish in the fridge and reheated it later in the microwave, you may have unknowingly turned this healthy food into a health hazard. That's because spinach naturally contains a high level of nitrates. These nitrates, when fresh, are actually helpful. They support blood pressure, circulation, and energy. But once cooked, stored, and then reheated, nitrates start to break down. They turn into nitrites, and then into nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are dangerous. Research from the World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute has linked nitrosamines to a higher risk of stomach and colon cancer. Even more concerning, these compounds may also harm the brain. Studies have found that long-term exposure to nitrosamines may increase inflammation in the brain and contribute to memory loss and cognitive decline. And here's the hard part. You won't taste this change. You won't see or smell it. But the damage builds up over time. Let's say you make a big pot of vegetable soup on Sunday. It has spinach in it. You put the rest in the fridge. By Tuesday, you reheat 1 bowl in the microwave. The taste may be fine, but you might be taking in small amounts of nitrosamines with every spoonful. And if you repeat this habit week after week, month after month, those compounds may slowly build up in your body. This is especially important if you're over 60. As we age, our body becomes less efficient at detoxifying harmful chemicals. Our brain, nervous system, and immune system become more sensitive. Even low-level toxins can cause noticeable changes. Chronic inflammation can dull your thinking, slow your energy, and quietly damage your health. So what can you do? You don't need to stop eating spinach. Fresh spinach is still one of the healthiest foods you can enjoy. But make a small shift in how you prepare it. Eat it fresh when possible. If it's already cooked, try eating the leftovers cold. Cold spinach salad or cold soup may be a better choice. If you need to reheat it, do so gently. Use the stovetop on low heat. Avoid microwaving or reheating multiple times. And always store spinach dishes in the fridge as soon as possible. Eat them within 1 or 2 days. Small changes like this can protect your brain and body from long-term harm. Your health is worth that extra care. If you've ever reheated spinach without knowing it could be risky, comment the number 1 below. We'd love to hear if this surprised you. Now let's talk about the second food, one that feels even more harmless, but can carry a hidden threat if not handled carefully. Potatoes. They're warm, comforting, and found in kitchens all around the world. Mashed, roasted, baked, or stewed, Potatoes are a mealtime favorite, but if you cook a batch of potatoes, store them, and then reheat them later without caution, you may be creating the perfect environment for a dangerous bacteria to grow. It's called Clostridium botulinum, and it's no joke. When potatoes are cooked and then left to cool slowly, especially when wrapped in foil, they enter a low oxygen state. This allows the bacteria to multiply. And when you reheat them in the microwave, that heat may not be enough to kill the bacteria or destroy its toxins. The result? You may be eating something that contains invisible, tasteless, odorless neurotoxins. These toxins can cause nausea, dizziness, digestive issues, and in severe cases, neurological complications. Older adults are especially vulnerable. Our immune system surns with age. Our digestion slows down. The body struggles more to fight off bacteria or recover from inflammation. What's more, recent studies on the gut-brain connection show that toxins in the digestive tract can also affect mental clarity. Chronic gut inflammation has been linked to memory loss, brain fog, and increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Let's say you bake some potatoes on Sunday night. You wrap the extras in foil. On Tuesday, you reheat them in the microwave for lunch. They taste fine, but you may have just added low levels of bacterial toxins into your system. And if you do this often, those toxins can add up over time. So how do we fix it? First, try to cook only what you'll eat fresh. If you do save leftovers, cool them quickly. Store them in airtight containers, not foil. Keep them refrigerated right away. When it's time to reheat, use the stovetop or oven. Make sure the heat is even. Never reheat potatoes more than once. And if they've been sitting in the fridge for more than 2 days, throw them out. It's not worth the risk. For older adults who want to protect their energy, memory, and long-term strength, these small steps matter more than we realize. If you've ever reheated potatoes without thinking twice, leave a comment with the number 2 below. You're not alone, and your awareness might help others too. Coming up next, we'll talk about a very familiar breakfast food. Loved for its protein and simplicity, but when reheated, it may quietly trigger inflammation that affects your heart and brain. Let's take a look at eggs. Eggs are often called the perfect breakfast food. They're affordable, versatile, and full of nutrition. Scrambled, boiled, fried, or baked, eggs are a reliable source of high-quality protein. They also provide choline, which is essential for brain health. But here's what most people don't know. Reheating cooked eggs, especially in the microwave or using high heat, can change them in ways that make them harder to digest and potentially harmful over time. When you first cook eggs, their proteins go through a natural transformation. They unfold and reshape, making them easier for your body to absorb. That's part of why freshly cooked eggs are so good for you. But when you reheat them, especially at high temperatures or uneven heat, these proteins break down further. They become tougher, less digestible, and can lose much of their value. That's not all. The cholesterol in the yolk, when exposed to heat a second time, can oxidize. And that oxidation creates compounds called oxysterols. These compounds have been linked to inflammation, artery damage, and increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Research published in journals focused on lipids and brain health has also shown that oxysterols may play a role in memory loss, cognitive decline, and other neurodegenerative conditions. And as we age, our ability to process fats declines. Our arteries become less flexible. Our brains become more vulnerable to inflammation. So even something as simple as reheating scrambled eggs can slowly affect how you feel, how you think, and how your body functions. Imagine this. You boil a batch of eggs on Sunday to save time during the week. By Wednesday, you microwave one for breakfast. It seems like a smart, healthy choice. But what you might not notice is that the egg is now rubbery. It smells a bit off, and deep inside, its cholesterol may have oxidized. Doing this every week, over months or years, can introduce inflammatory compounds into your system. It might feel like low energy, foggy thinking, or just not feeling your best. So what's the safer option? Try eating eggs fresh right after cooking. If you batch cook them, enjoy them cold. Add them to salads, sandwiches, or eat them as a snack. If you really need to reheat, use gentle heat. A low-temperature stovetop is better than the microwave. And only reheat once. Also, store cooked eggs in the fridge as soon as possible. Eat them within a few days. If they smell off or look discolored, throw them away. Eggs are still a powerhouse food, but how we treat them matters. Every small choice you make in the kitchen can build toward better energy, sharper focus, and a healthier you. If you've ever reheated eggs and noticed they didn't taste quite right, comment the number 3 below. You might be surprised how many others have had the same experience. Next, we'll talk about a food that's part of nearly every home. It's lean, full of protein, and loved by health-conscious eaters. But reheated the wrong way, it can quietly feed inflammation throughout your body. Let's talk about chicken. Chicken is one of the most common proteins in our kitchens. It's lean, affordable, and easy to cook in many ways. Grilled, boiled, roasted, or sautéed, it fits into almost any meal plan. But if you're someone who cooks a big batch of chicken, stores it in the fridge, and then reheats it during the week, this next part is important for you. When chicken is cooked the first time, its proteins go through a change that makes them easier to digest. This is part of what makes fresh chicken nourishing. But when you reheat chicken, especially in the microwave or using high heat, those same proteins go through a second change. They become tougher, harder to digest, and less usable by your body. And here's where the bigger concern lies. Reheating meat, like chicken, at high temperatures can lead to the formation of harmful compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These compounds are known to increase chronic inflammation in the body. And chronic inflammation, even when mild, is now recognized as a root cause of many age-related conditions, including heart disease, memory decline, and joint pain. If you're younger, your body may handle it better. But for older adults, even small increases in inflammation can lead to noticeable fatigue, mental fog, or a slower recovery after meals. Picture this. It's Sunday evening, and you roast a batch of chicken breasts for the week. You store them in the fridge. On Tuesday, you reheat one in the microwave for a quick lunch. It tastes fine, maybe a little rubbery. But what you don't realize is that the proteins have now degraded further. And with that, you've also introduced more AGEs into your body. Over time, this adds stress to your digestive system, your immune system, and even your nervous system. So how can you reduce the risk? First, try to eat chicken fresh whenever possible. If you need to store leftovers, cool them quickly and store them properly. When reheating, skip the microwave. Use a low-temperature oven or stovetop to warm it evenly and gently. You can also enjoy leftover chicken cold. Add it to a salad, wrap it in a sandwich, or serve it with fresh vegetables. These may seem like small adjustments, but for someone in their 60s or 70s, they can protect your energy, reduce stiffness, and keep inflammation in check. If you've ever felt bloated or tired after reheating chicken, comment the number 4 below. Your experience may help others understand this quiet but important issue. Now let's talk about the last food on our list. A favorite in soups and stir-fries. Delicious, earthy, and full of nutrients. but also one of the most sensitive to reheating, mushrooms. Mushrooms are packed with antioxidants, B vitamins, fiber, and compounds that support immune function and heart health. They're flavorful, versatile, and often used in dishes for older adults looking to eat well. But mushrooms have a delicate internal structure. Their proteins, enzymes, and fats are more sensitive to heat than many other vegetables. When cooked for the first time, these components break down in a way that helps your body absorb nutrients. But when you reheat mushrooms, especially using high heat or more than once, those same nutrients start to degrade. Their proteins become harder to digest. Their fats oxidize. And this may lead to symptoms like bloating, sluggishness, or discomfort after meals. For older adults, this is especially important. As we age, our digestion slows. Enzyme production drops. And even small changes in food structure can lead to discomfort that feels harder to explain. But digestion isn't the only concern. Reheated mushrooms, especially if stored in plastic or exposed to moisture, can create oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is when unstable molecules, called free radicals, start to damage your cells from the inside out. This kind of cellular damage is linked to aging, memory loss, and low immunity. Let's say you make a creamy mushroom risotto for dinner. You store the leftovers in a plastic container. The next day, you reheat it in the microwave for lunch. The mushrooms taste different. They're rubbery, watery, and don't smell the same. That's not just a culinary disappointment. It's a sign of chemical breakdown. Nutrients have turned into something your body struggles to use. So what's the better approach? If you cook mushrooms, prepare only what you plan to eat fresh. If you do have leftovers, store them in a sealed glass container. Keep them cold. When reheating, use low heat on the stovetop or in the oven. Even better, enjoy them cold, tossed into a salad or served with olive oil and lemon. These small habits help protect your digestion, reduce inflammation, and support your body's natural defenses. If you've ever noticed a strange texture or feeling after eating reheated mushrooms, comment the number 5 below. We're all learning together. Now let's take a moment to reflect. What stood out most to you today? We've just explored 5 everyday foods: spinach, potatoes, eggs, chicken, and mushrooms, each with the potential to harm your health if not reheated properly. None of them are bad on their own. In fact, they're all nutritious when handled the right way. But small habits, like how we store and reheat food, can have lasting effects, especially as we get older. The changes may feel invisible at first. A little fatigue here, a little brain fog there. But over time, they add up. And the good news is this: you don't need to give up your favorite meals. You just need to treat them with more care. Reheat gently. Eat fresh when you can. Avoid reheating more than once. And always trust your senses. If something smells off or looks wrong, toss it. These may seem like small steps, but they build the foundation for clearer thinking, steadier energy, and better long-term health. If today's video helped you learn something new, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring practical, science-backed health tips to more people like you. And in the comments, let us know, which food surprised you the most today? Your story might inspire someone else to start making small changes that lead to big results. Thanks for spending this time with us. Take care of yourself and your meals. You deserve it.